that's big business. Hit 10, but that's big pimpin'. My potential, that's infinite. Pin game insane. Make hits like King Griffin, a 10th inning.
Merry Christmas, everyone. How's everyone doing today? I'm going to bounce you over there to the side. You guys didn't see it, but I did. I'm Dan. This is Sean.
I'm just eating a chocolate covered pretzel.
Today, my item is a chocolate covered pretzel. We'd like to say a very Merry Christmas from the 10th Inning Podcast to you. We hope everyone is out there having a fun time. There's been a lot of fun news going on lately. But instead of getting on into some really fun news like Sean's team also losing Carlos Correa seemingly, we will get into our list that we've been talking about from last year. As you guys know, the faithful fans, we did a top 10 list for every single position last year. We brought it to you. Whether they were very valuable or not, we'll find out today. Even if they weren't, come back and see our top 10 list this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it'll be worse.
It was our first year last year. Cut us some slack.
Yeah. But we had a lot of fun making them. We had a lot of fun making this. What we did is we took WAR because we ranked based on real life. So we're talking athleticism and like defense and offense, the whole thing. Even we talked about how people are in the clubhouse and stuff like that. Yeah. So we really wanted to get the whole character in. WAR obviously doesn't take into account character, but is the best cumulative stat there is out there as far as offense and defense. So how the WAR rankings were per position versus our top 10, and we got 5 points. We got them exactly correct. 3 points if we got them within one spot up or down, and 1 point if we got them within 2 spots up or down. And we'll give you our top 10 cumulative WAR as well as we go along, as we do a little bit of a fun Christmas battle here.
Yes.
Right before we start off our new top 10s, get ready for that. Come for next year. I'm sure you guys will be excited for that. Where should we start, Sean? What position you want to start? You want to start?
Start at the catching position? And you know what? We're going to start with another chocolate covered pretzel. Oh, you already have one? Okay.
I was going to
There you go.
No stopping me.
Trying to get intense fun.
5-second ASMR break. Okay. Beautiful. Now, talking about Major League Baseball, top 10 list was a little bit surprising, I think. Number 1, JT Realmuto. Not too much of a surprise. Number 2, Adley Rutschman.
Won my Dynasty League.
That's right.
Don't have a name.
Team Sean. Came up halfway through the year, basically. Maybe a little before that, but 5.3 WAR. Put up in a shorter sample size this year. Ready? Probably heavy favorite to be the highest in WAR next season.
Here to stay. Did he win rookie? He did not win rookie.
He didn't because Julio Rodriguez. I think.
Stop.
This is why you got to follow 10th Inning Podcast. We know what's going on. 1 and 2 in the AL Rookie of the Years.
Yeah.
Number 3 was Sean Murphy, a little bit of a bounce back year offensively. Number 4, surprise standout Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
Breaking onto the scene with some huge power numbers.
Iconic home run.
Iconic. Will Smith at 5. Travis d'Arnaud of the Mets, formerly, 3.9. In the 7th spot, Alejandro Kirk, my starting catcher, baby. Number 8, Jose Trevino kind of jumped onto the scene with the Yankees, made an all-star nod. Really fun year. Everyone has a good year. Replace Gary. It's very easy to do.
Yeah, small shoes to fill.
That's right. Wilson Contreras, number 9, had a great year. People thought still was barely top 10. I'll get into that. I hate Wilson Contreras. Still do. Number 10, what do you think about that? Also on your team.
Yeah. I picked him up, I don't know, a few weeks into the season. Yeah, I'm gonna need another one. Yeah. We're gonna kill this whole bag. But I was happy to see what he gave me this year and kind of came out of nowhere. And catching position is prime for, some new younger guys to step up. We'll talk about Yadi Molina a little bit later and some other guys who have fallen off the map or have retired. So
how do you feel about the hair?
I love the hair.
Okay.
I love the hair. Okay. I like catchers with hair like that,
Now that's the real list. As you know, that was not our list, which we'll get into now. Sean, at 1, I'll run through my list quickly and I'll give you the points and you'll do the same and we'll see how we did fared. I had Will Smith as my number 1 catcher going into the year. He was not. He was 5, obviously. So I got 0 points for that. JT Realmuto, I had at 2. He was number 1, so I got 3 points for that. Perez, I had it. I'm sorry. Yasmani Grandal, Sean, I had it 3. Folks, he had negative -0.4 WAR. Um, bad luck. Bad luck on the pod. I think Sean had him fairly high as well.
Yeah.
Leif, I think, had him at 1. We were getting high on Yasmani, and he just plummeted. Number 4, I had Perez, who got hurt, which sucks. Number 5. Who did I have number 5, Sean? Because I don't even. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and that might be no Mitch Garver. I had Mitch Garver at 5, guys. I couldn't tell you why I had Mitch Garver at 5. 0 points for that. I had Wilson Contreras at 6. 0 points for that. I ranked him too high after everyone said I hated him. Keeper Ruiz at 7. No points for that. Had a decent rookie year. I think he could still break out next year. Alejandro Kirk at 8. 3 points for that, baby. I bet on myself. I was right. He came out and showed everyone how to do it. Top 10 catcher now. No one can complain about that. Omar Narvaez at 9. No points for that. And Dalton Varsho at 10, which I will say I would have got.
That was a good pick because I don't
pick.
think many people had him on the top 10 list. So that was props to you for that one.
I appreciate
Just
it.
got traded the other day.
Just got traded. He didn't come up as far as catcher because he played most of the year at center field. He ended up being a really good outfielder.
Very good, yeah.
So as far as my catcher rankings, he would have been the 4th highest WAR for a catcher if he would have been listed at that position with 4.6 WAR last year, almost 5 WAR. So I wouldn't have got a point because he would have been better than I expected. But I like that I sneaked him in there.
Yeah.
One guy I did want to talk about slash line wise was Wilson Contreras. But I'm gonna let you say yours first. So I gotta look up his stats.
Yeah, so we definitely had some similarities, at least in the beginning of our list. I had Real Muto ranked at 1. That to me was kind of a no-brainer. He kind of proved why he is still the best catcher in baseball. Number 2, I had Will Smith. Not as great of a year as Dan discussed, but still very solid catcher. From there was Salvador Perez, who had a huge drop-off in production from last year to this year. I did not receive any points for that because of that. Then from there, I went Wilson Contreras at 3, or excuse me, at 4, no points there. And Yasmani Grandal, the aforementioned negative WAR, negative -0.4 WAR. It's a tongue twister, but didn't do so well. Christian Vasquez at 6, no points there either. Tyler Stevenson, who I was high on, I think I took a bit of a chance, a bit of an Alejandro Kirk leap like Dan. Didn't pay off the same way it paid off for him. No points there. Number 8, I had Omar Narvaez, New York Met. Welcome to the squad. Didn't get a point there. Mike Zunino, who I hate, just don't like the way he plays. I had him in the 9 for some reason. No points there. Folks, he didn't show up on the first two pages of Fangraphs. I did, for those of you who have Apple, Command F. For everybody else, Control Up. Okay. Did not show up. No points there. No. So number 10, I rounded out with Yadier Molina. Wow, I can't say his name. This is Christmas spirit, man.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
It is. Yadier Molina. Last time ever making anybody's list of current players. He got a 0.1 WAR. Props to him. No points though.
And Sean, what was the total WAR you had for the position?
Total WAR for the position was 18.1.
I came in with 25.3. I think having Dalton Varsho, that added WAR on my list, got me a little bump up. I got a little lucky with that. Total score, I got 6. What did you end up with there?
I ended up with 5.
Okay, so I got a slight lead. I got a slight lead with the catcher position.
Yeah.
I did say I wanted to give you my slash line. Sean, Wilson Contreras this year. I mean, known hater here. I said 20 bombs, 240 average, 340 on base. Wilson Contreras had 22 bombs, 243 average, 349 on base. 4 stolen bases. I also said he would have 5. I mean, Sean, we're within digits here. I feel like that is a pretty spot on assessment of Wilson Contreras' year. Proud of myself. That's all I got to say. I'll have one of those for each position, somewhere a stretch. Moving on to the first base spot. Do you want to run through quickly? If you can see this screen, I don't know if you can see this screen. The top 10 in first base WAR this year.
Sure. Have a sip of this eggnog. It's actually water, but we're trying to be festive. Those are quite good.
Yeah.
Shout out to the frigate. It's fun name to say. So Paul Goldschmidt had an outstanding year, was MVP. And it's Paulie Goldschmidt we like to see. 7.1 WAR. Now tied with that amount of WAR, 7.1 is Freddie Freeman, who came in second, who also had an outstanding year. Third, was Christian Walker at 4.1. Pete Alonso rounded out the top four of the 4.0. Then from there, Jose Abreu, newly minted Houston Astro, 3.9. 6, Luis Arias, 3.2. 7, Matt Olson, 3.1. 8, Nathaniel Lau, 3. Number 9, DJ LeMahieu, who got left off the playoff roster with 3. And then we had a tie for 10. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, you threw me off there. We had 10 and 11. 10 was Vlad Guerrero Jr. 11 was my top 10, Anthony Rizzo. I took a lot of flack for that last year. And folks, let me tell you, I was very close to being proven right.
He was. And the reason I put Rizzo there was that. And the red, I put LeMahieu in red because I had ranked him at second base. So for my rankings, I was like, DJ listed at second, and at first. So the player listed a position they shouldn't be at, like a Rise is also listed at second and third, I think. I read them out because I feel like they're taking spots away.
Yeah.
So Rizzo really should be a top 10 if you're thinking DJ's a second baseman.
Which I would think so. I'm not just thinking that because,
I'm giving Rizzo top 10 status. Moving on. My list this year, I had Freddie at 1, which let me tell you, he was tied for the most WAR. So that's a score of 5 right there. Freddie, keep doing it. I think he's the best first baseman in the league. He kind of still proved that this year. Paulie had a wonderful year. I'd like to see him keep it up. I had Vladdy at 2. A little bit of a disappointing year here from Vlad.
Yeah, another team Sean.
Yeah.
He did not do what he was supposed to do, but looking for bounce back.
So no points there, unfortunately. I had Paul at 3. I was able to snag a point there, thankfully, which was nice to see. Getting close with him. I was still high on Paul, which is great. Max at 4, another tough one. Max had a tough year. Still gathered 2.4 WAR. So to be honest with you, he was walking a lot, and that was doing something for him. Pete at 5, another 3 points there. I had him. He was a 4 overall. I had him at 5. I remember telling you, you're underranking Pete. You're underranking the guy.
Yeah.
And he blew past even my expectations. I also think I was very close on his projections. We'll talk about that in a second. I had Brandon Belt at 6. Joey Votto at 7. No comments. Belt at 0 WAR. Votto at -0.9. So that stretch for me did not go as planned. Matt Olson at 8. I dogged him, and guess what? I got 3 points out of it. He was the 7th best first baseman. Josh Bell at 9. When he went to San Diego, everything fell apart, but he actually had a really decent first half of the year. And Jose Abreu, I dogged him. I got called out for it, and he proved me wrong. The ageless wonder, Jose Abreu at 10. He was definitely, what was he, a top 5? I think he was top 5 first baseman this year, right? Number 5. So I didn't get any points there. Total WAR for the position was 31.5. And I forget how many points I got here, but my cumulative score is up to 14. So 14 minus 5 would be the WAR that I had for this position. And my cumulative WAR shot up to 56.8. Where are you sitting?
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I too had Freddie Freeman at 1 and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at 2. So I got 5 points for Freeman, none for Vladdy. Unfortunately, like I said, down here for him. Max Muncy I had at 3. I don't know what I was thinking. Did not work out well. Still, like Dan said, impressive. He had 2.4 WAR. He walked a lot, but no points there for me. And Jose Abreu, the ageless wonder, as Dan also said, got me some points there. It got me 3 points at number 4. Paul Goldschmidt had 5. I guess I very much underestimated him, but I probably should have flipped him and Max Muncy looking back at it. But didn't work out that way. Matt Olson at 6. Yuli Gurriel at, excuse me, I skipped Pete Alonso. I keep dissing. Pete Alonso at 7, no points there, but had a heck of a year. Then we go to Matt Olson. Oh, no, I just went back. And then we go to Yuli Gurriel.
There's something in these pretzels, I'm telling you.
In the eggnog. Then from Yuli Gurriel, we go 9 to Jesus Aguilar.
That one you didn't get.
That one, I remember I was going out a bit of a ledge for that one. I was hoping it would work out. I don't have the luck to with his ledge walking. And then number 10, I rounded out with Anthony Rizzo. But a 2.4 WAR and got me 3 points. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Put some respect on his and my name. Thank you very much. So I got a total WAR for that position of 31.5 and a total. What are we going to score here? Yeah, total score 14. An cumulative WAR of 50.
That's fine. I got to tell you, we're at a tied total score here.
Yeah.
And we had the same total WAR with a bunch of different players. We got to 31.5. So that's pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
We had a tied class there with completely different players. I'm still 6 to 7 points in WAR ahead. We're tied in the total score. So we are neck and neck as this podcast will show you.
They always say I'm a second half player. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not about that. The one thing I will say is the ledge walking thing, Sean. Me going Votto and Brandon Belt. I don't know how much that worked out for me.
Especially considering not a fan of Brandon Belt.
No, not that didn't work out at all. Do you want to go with your? Well, let me get this up for you. I'll read the third baseman. Top. What are we at? Third. Sean, I'm losing my mind. We're at second baseman. I'll read the top 10. Then you'll go first. And then before I start my top 10 second baseman, I'm gonna give you the Pete stats because I forgot I gotta get you my close stats for the position. So at second base, Jose Altuve's back, babe. 6.6 with the most WAR at second base. Had a really good season. Blew away a lot of people's projections. I think he hit over 300 and he kept the power. So don't like him, but God bless. Number two, Andres Jimenez really broke out onto the scene. Over 6 WAR. Former Met, traded for Lindor along with who do you go?
Med Rosario.
Number 3, current Met, Jeff McNeil. I'll talk about it a little bit later. I had him, if you remember, slated in in a spot for me. I didn't necessarily rank him, but he was ranked in a spot because I was like, if they ever give him playing time, because we didn't know the Mets suck and they don't usually value their good players.
Daniel Murphy.
Murphy. Number 4, Tommy Edman. Number 5, Marcus Semien. Who kind of had a bounce back in the second half. Tommy Edman, by the way, Zeke called that one. No one was on Tommy Edman, and he kind of broke out. Number 6, Jake Cronenworth. Number 7, Luis Arias. Again, he was in the first base ranking. Number 8, Gavin Lux. Crazy. I didn't think Gavin Lux.
I didn't either.
You look at his stats. I don't know how he did it. God bless your soul. Number 9, DJ, who, again, I did rank as a second baseman, was also in the first baseman. And number 10, tied, Gleyber Torres, Brendan Donovan, and Thairo Estrada. Obviously, Thairo Estrada, former Yankee.
That was a surprising one.
Current Giant, Brendan Donovan, Gold Glove / Platinum Glove stealing player, whatever he was. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Brendan Donovan just because of what he did to the awards this year. They all had 2.7 WAR. But Sean, let's hear about how your list broke down.
So my list broke down like a car.
Okay.
Not well. I had Ozzy Albies at 1. He had a very,
didn't play.
Fractured year for fractured reasons. No points there. Then from there I go Marcus Semien. Like I said, great second half, but first half was not great. No points there either. Then I go with Brandon Lowe.
He sucked.
Yes, yeah, put it that way. He had a 0.9 WAR, so not great. Then Jorge Polanco, who I kept calling Placido Polanco, or who's the Polanco? Gregory. Polanco. Those two ones, but I never would call him Jorge. No points there at number 4. Jose Altuve had a 5. No points there either. Jake Cronenworth at 6, 5 points, nailed it. That's about the only one he nailed in this position. Whit Merrifield at 7, no points. Gene Seager at 8, god awful there, no points. Jonathan India at 9, no points there. And Tommy Edman I had at 10, like I said, 5.6 WAR, great year, but no points for me.
Okay. Well, let me get to Pete first. Pete, I'll tell you, I projected 42 bombs, Sean.
Yeah.
265 average, 350 on base. I took my balls out. I put them out there.
Yeah.
I said 42, he got 40. I said 265, he had 271. I said 350, I believe. Is that what I said? He 352. So I'm right there.
Yeah.
I'm right there. That's pretty close. Within the most was average, and that was only 6 points away, really. So, Pete Alonso, I got you, big fella. I got you. Now, as far as your total WAR for the position, or you said
27.9.
I was at 25.6. So you inching back in the cumulative WAR now. I got 82.4. What do you got there?
I have 77.9.
So we're very close.
Yeah.
Total score, I got 8 points that round.
I only had 5.
My cumulative score is 28, and yours is
24.
okay. All right, I'm holding the lead here.
Did you just say your list already?
I didn't say my list already, guys. I'm so sorry. I really apologize to everyone involved. Marcus Simeon, I had at 1.
Yeah.
What?
We flipped.
Oh, we did. Yes, we
You had Ozzy
flipped.
at 1 and I
We
had
flipped,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ozzy, I had it 2. Obviously, we got no points for that. Altuve had a 3. I got a point. At least I had him top 3. He was 1. Brandon Lau, nothing there. Was it Lowe?
One was low and one was loud. They both were on the race.
I think it's Brandon Lau, Nate Lowe. Nate Lowe's on the Rangers now. Used to be.
Yeah.
Polanco, I had him at 5. No points there. But I will say I had McNeil in here, Sean.
Yeah.
I had McNeil.
I like the way you spell it.
So will you give me the point for having McNeil here? I'm not asking for his WAR. I'm not going to add his WAR because that's not fair.
So you had him there because what?
Because I didn't think the Mets were going to give him a full year.
Mhm.
They really weren't playing him at the end of last year.
Well, they played him on different positions.
Right, and
Because he's an everyday player, but he's all over the field.
but I honestly didn't think with who they were bringing in if they were going to give him full
Yeah.
because they were also going to considering keeping Javi Baez still in the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll let you have that.
That's all I wanted to point, folks. That's all I'm looking for. Number 6, I had Cronenworth. We both did that. We both got him on the nose.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for Jake Cronenworth comps, where you guys?
Like Rudolph on the nose.
That's it. DJ LeMahieu, I had at 7. I got 1 point for that. Witt at 8, no points. Kike Hernandez, no points, and Chris Taylor. Those are my 2 super utility guys. I threw at second base, and they didn't really. Chris had it down here as well. 1.9 WAR. Kike even worse at 0.5. I already told him the Qs. So I do have to look up McNeil, and given that I'm going to look up McNeil, I'm going to have Sean read to you how the shortstops did this year. Oh, and I can't do that because I was going to look up McNeil. Sean, I still want you to read.
I'll read them and then I'll
Yeah.
my list. Yeah. Boys and girls, the list shook up very interestingly. This was is always a loaded position, even in free agency as we've seen. Well, here it is. Francisco Lindor, bounce back year. All caps, bounce back year. 6.8 WAR. That's what the Mets are trading for. Then followed by Dansby Swanson, number 2, 6.4. Now, number 3, Dan's favorite player, Trey Turner, 6.3. So this is all neck and neck. We're like percentage points away from him being in first. Xander Bogaerts, 6.1 at 4. Did I already say that? Nope. I don't think I did. Numbers are just sounding familiar. Tommy Edman at 5, 5.6. Willie Adames, 4.7 at 6. Corey Seager, 4.5 at 7. Bo Bichette, 4.5 at 8. And Carlos Correa, 4.4 at 9. Nico Horner, 4 even at 10. So this was one that there's some names in here that you wouldn't necessarily think. Tommy Edman had himself a heck of a year. And you look at the WAR, as far as any position I can remember, there's no one below a 4. I don't think there's a position that even touches that.
No, this was a stacked position, and I don't think it was really much of a fall off at 10 either.
Yeah.
There's some high 3s as well. But get into your list. Tell me how you did.
Yeah. So my list, I'll just read it to you. Corey Seager at 1, I got no points for that. Much like Marcus Semien, had a very slow first half, then picked up in the second. So no points there. Now the second one, folks. Fernando Tatis Jr. Did not register anything. He didn't play. The only thing he registered was a needle in his arm with HDH. Yeah. So a huge loss on that one. Trey Turner, I had at 3. I got 5 points, hit the nail on the head. Yeah. Carlos Correa had at 4, no points there. Trevor Story had at 5. Definitely didn't get points there.
Didn't work out in Boston.
Now, it seems like I'm actually hard on the Mets players. I have Lindor at 6. I obviously didn't get points. But 6.8 WAR. I don't know if there is anybody. I guess Goldschmidt at 7.1. Yeah. There's not many players that are higher WAR than Lindor this year. Then we have Xander Bogaerts for me at 7. No points there. 8 was Tim Anderson. 2 points. 2 WAR, no points. Tough year for him. Bit of a down year. Tough year for anybody involved with the
More
Chicago White
injuries.
Sox.
More
Yeah.
injuries.
Now number 9 had Javier Baez, who, believe it or not, registered a WAR of 2. Somehow had a positive WAR. Think that one through. And then number 10, I had Bo Bichette, no points there. Or excuse me, 3 points there. What am I saying? And he had a 4.5 WAR. So I had a total WAR of 36, total score of 8, and a cumulative score of 32.
There you go. Now we're moving on here. For me, I gotta talk about my guy Jeffrey, and I'm not talking Young Thug. I'm talking McNeil. I said 16 homers, 305, 380, 4 bags. I put my ball. I meant 305, 380, Sean.
Yeah.
The guy. I mean, this wasn't perfect. He had 9 bombs, 326. So he definitely underperformed the power, overperformed the average. On base 382, almost on the head. I got that one. And we're talking stolen bases. Where did he end up with the stolen bases? 4, I believe. What did I say for him? I said 4. We got bases on the head, OBP on the head, average and homers. I should have gave him more average, a little less homers.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that's a pretty good projection from McNeil. I'm proud of myself.
Should be.
Thanks.
You should be.
I still haven't given my showstop list.
No.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Um,
Consistent.
I had Tatis 1, guys. I had Trey Turner at 2. I hate him. I got a point out of it. I actually should have gotten 3 points now that I'm looking because, frankly, Sean, I'm giving myself 3 points if you don't mind.
And I'm watching it happen, though.
Because I certainly, I wish I didn't deserve it, but I did. Seager, I had a 3, no points there. He had a really unlucky year. He's gonna bounce back. Bo Bichette, I had a 4, no points. Tim Anderson, I had a 5. Again, the injuries bug keeps with him and all the White Sox. No points. Lindor, I had it 6 as well. I had a little stars next to him. Even though I had it 6, I think I was really close on his projections, even though he did so well. So I thought he was going to be great. I ranked him at 6. Never mind. Correa, I had it 7. I got 1 point for that. Xander, I ranked at 8, no points. Story, I ranked at 9, no points. And Bobby Witt Jr., I ranked at 10. 2.3 WAR, decent rookie year. Nothing to sneer at, I don't think. My total score for this round moves up to 4 after I get those 2 points back, bringing my cumulative score to 32. Now, do you have a 32 as well?
I do have 32.
We are tied with our cumulative scores. Now, my total WAR for the position was 39.3. What did you end up?
36.
Okay. Cumulative WAR 121.7. What do you got?
113.9.
Okay, so I'm holding a little lead in the WAR, but we are dead heat with how we rank players.
Yeah.
Now, guys, what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna wait because I'm done playing this game where I go to the next thing. You guys can wait 30 seconds.
You seem to have an affinity for Mets players tonight. He highlighted Alonso, McNeil, and Lindor.
I guess I just know the Mets.
Prominent Mets fan over here.
I know
I
what
don't
the Mets are gonna do. I feel it. Lindor last year. Let's see what I projected here. Now I'm not the greatest, so I might not have been that close. I said 28 homers, 265, 335, and 16 stolen bases. Now let's see. He had 26 homers, Sean. So 2 homers off. Not bad. I'm sorry. I'm getting ads like you've never seen ads before. So 2 homers off. He had a 270 average to 339 on base. What did I say?
65.
265 and a 335, right? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Something like that. 265, 335. He was 270, 339. So we're talking within 5 and 4 points there. 16 bags. What did he grab, Sean? Guys, Sean will tell you the same thing right now. Oh my, they're asking me to log in the whole wazoo. How many bags? 16 bags, Sean. What I'll tell you right now is the furthest I was away was really average.
Did you nail the bags?
I nailed the bags.
Wow. Good job.
I nailed them.
Yeah.
That is a filthy projection from Francisco Lindor. You got to wonder why I would project someone to get almost exactly their stats, then end up with 6.8 WAR, be the number 1 shortstop by a wide margin, and then rank them at 6. You'd have to wonder where that came into play. I knew exactly what I was going to do, and I thought that was worthy of the 6th spot. So
Shortstop is a loaded position. I will give you
It
that.
is a loaded position, and some guys did underperform. I thought Tatis and Seager obviously would have had better years.
Yeah, so did I.
Than that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think I was drinking the Seager Kool-Aid too.
Yeah.
Because we'll see out in my third base rankings. There was at least one guy that Dan kind of rubbed off on with me. That's okay. It's okay.
Devers is gonna. He was just got hurt a little bit.
No, I wasn't even talking about Devers.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, I'll talk about third base, the top 10 here. And this is the last position we're going to do today. We're just going to do infield today. We'll do outfield and pitchers next week. Manny Machado had a freaking, to me, he was my MVP if you watched the video. I had the case for him. 7.4 WAR, number one third baseman as far as WAR is concerned. Another top three finisher. The guy right behind him was Nolan Arenado with a 7.3. Great bounce back year. Proved that he can hit anywhere. Doesn't have to be Coors. Yeah. Hopefully Trevor Story does that next year. I'm actually in the works of acquiring Trevor Story for Kyle Schwarber right now. Just keep it along.
I thought Schwarber was on the table for me.
Well, what I was gonna say is keep it on low because he's also in a pending deal with Sean for Kevin Gossman. We're wheeling and dealing. We're seeing what we can do right now. Number 3 is Jose Ramirez with 6.2. Another wonderful year for him. Number 4, I'm so sorry. He's yours if you want him. Number 4 is Austin Riley. I mean, the guy had 46 homers. I'm not saying he's
like 208.
Yeah, but 46.
I know he did. He did. Showed out in the playoffs, but it doesn't matter.
Riley is 5.5 WAR at the number 4 spot. He did it again, and he kind of proved that it was real. Bregman, another bounce back guy at 5. He had 5.5 WAR as well. Devers, hot start. I think he was like MVP candidate for the first couple months, and he cooled off, got hurt, had like a hand issue that he's been having the last couple of years. But I think he ended the season okay, so he should be good for next year. Hopefully, I think he could be an MVP candidate again, and he improved defensively. That's big. He was number 6 spot. 7, Matt Chapman. A little weird year. Had a good, really ended the season. He was really heating up, and that was 4.1. But the glove actually came down a little bit. The bat came up. Okay. Number 8, Eugenio Suarez. Weird player. 4.1.
Very.
And number 9, Yandy Diaz. We talked about in our blind resumes how crazy of a year he had batting average wise and on base wise. Really sneaky player. And the number 10 spot, Ryan McMahon, which Sean will tell you about later how he might have nailed on the head here in the number 10 spot. Now, do you want to go with your list first? Or you want me to go with my list first?
I'm gonna go with mine.
Okay.
Before I start that, I watched the third baseman video we did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And you said a lot of stuff about Machado. Hit the nail on the head.
Did I?
He had a really great year, obviously, and you called a lot of that stuff as well.
Okay.
Even when you talked about Bregman too, you kind of were high on him enough so that you'd improve. So I want to give you your props. You did a good job.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, I didn't either. So
go take a watch before we put the new top 10 out. Take a look at last year. See what we got right. See what we got wrong. Get yourself ready and going. That's what I'm doing with Avatar. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna go see the new movie. You gotta do the same thing.
And they're still doing the first one in theaters too.
Are they?
Yeah, so, not all theaters, but I went to a movie yesterday on Christmas, and it's called Babylon. It's about basically 3 movie stars in the early era of Hollywood in the 1920s to 30s. Okay. It's an interesting movie. It's rated R, so children do not watch it. Please don't. It will really scar you. But interesting movie. Brad Pitt is in it.
I like Brad Pitt. Big fan of Brad Pitt. I don't know what that. Oh no, they're telling me my battery's running low. That's what they're telling me.
Maybe we should.
We're gonna
pick it up. All right. So,
well, what we'll do here is let me pause this. We're gonna pause for a second. Everyone, time out. I'm gonna plug the charger in. Okay. We're good. We're back. I don't say we're good, but we are back.
We are back.
The computer died right when I was trying to tell you guys what we were gonna do.
Yeah.
Pause. It just.
It's quite comical, actually.
Didn't know if we had anything left, but thankfully the first part did save.
Yeah.
As we think right now, you might just get the third base rankings, and if that's what you get, man, God bless, Merry Christmas.
All right, I'll give my list of third base. So I started at number 1, Rafael Devers.
Mm-hmm.
No points with that one, unfortunately. Then I went Jose Ramirez at number 2. 3 points there.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, actually went Manny Machado number 2. Then I went Jose Ramirez number 3. Nolan Arenado at 4.
Mhm.
Austin Riley at 5.
Mhm.
Justin Turner. That's where I drank the Kool-Aid. Justin
Yeah.
Turner at number 6. Now you had him at a higher ranking because I remember watching it. I think you had him at like 3.
Probably did.
Um,
Now, how much WAR did Turner get?
Turner had the 2.4.
Man, that ain't terrible.
2.4 better than Javier Baez.
Yeah. And how much did Javi make?
A lot. A
So
lot. Now,
that's not a terrible year out of JT.
and then number 7, I have Matt Chapman.
Mhm.
Got 5 points for that one. Hit the nail on the head. Eduardo Escobar at number 8. Nothing there. Had a bit of a down year. Came on strong in the second half. A huge fan. Alex Bregman at number 9 had a great year, especially bounced back. No points there for me. And then I had Ryan McMahon at 10. 5 points. Hit the nail right square on the head. So I had a total WAR of 48.7.
That's right.
Total score of 24. Cumulative score of 54. And a cumulative WAR of 162.6.
Now, what I'm hearing, Sean, is first off, what was it? 48 WAR in that. So he had almost 50 WAR from that position.
Yeah.
And you almost doubled your score.
Yeah.
Sean got almost everyone on the nail on the head in that category. And we were tied. We were 32, right?
I think you had a slight. Yeah, we were at 32.
We were at 32. So I'm going to need to beat that to take a win here. That's not going to be easy. I had Jose Ramirez at 1. I got, did I get any points for that? I got 1 point because he was, what was he? He was the third best. Yeah. I got, excuse me, Devers at 2. No points for that. Machado at 3. 1 point for that again. Turner at 4. No points for that. Arenado at 5. No points for that. Rendon at 6. He didn't even fucking play. No points for that. 0.8 WAR though. Good for him. Riley at 7. Underrated him. No points for that. Bregman at 8. Underrated him. No points for that. Donaldson at 9. Didn't work out.
Also, you talking very highly of Donaldson. We recorded that before the Yankees trade.
Yeah.
Like I think Josh Donaldson still got some good years left in him.
Yeah. And he didn't do well.
No.
And Eduardo Escobar, of course, at 10. That's the front of the pod. No points for that. 2.3 WAR though. Slightly worse than Justin Turner. Total WAR for the position 43.9. You beat me by a good amount there. Who was your big guy that you had that I didn't?
Ryan McMahon for 5.
Yeah, and he had a lot of WAR.
Yeah.
And did I have Chapman? I didn't have Chapman either because I hate Matt Chapman. So you had a couple guys in there. I did not.
Yeah.
Which takes my cumulative WAR to 165.6. What was yours at?
162.6.
I'm gonna win the WAR game. I won the WAR game for infield, but we are tied. We are not tied. We are tight. We got outfield and pitchers left to go. Total score there, 2 points. Sean, if you remind me, you had 24 there.
24, yes. This was my big comeback right here.
So my cumulative score went up to 34, and yours went up to about 50 something.
54.
So we were close. We are no longer close.
So winning some aspects, losing others.
Yeah. So I have the WAR right now. You have the score right now.
The WAR and score.
WAR and the score. That's what our new podcast is called, the WAR and the score. Good first battle. We got outfield and pitching coming up next week, and then we might start to get into our position rankings. Before we go, let me give you my my player for this position. It's Manny Machado. Like Sean said, he did allude to it. I kind of knew what I was saying with Machado this year.
And ranked him accordingly.
I had 33 bombs, 283 average, 360 on base, 8 bags. He was 32 bombs, so 1 bomb off, 298 average. He had a higher average than I thought. I said 284. 366 on base. I said 360. We're right there. I said 8 bags. He had 9. So we were pretty spot on with Machado. At least I had to do the Lindor thing. Was spot on with the MVP candidate, and then ranked him low. This was a tight matchup. It's going to stay tight. That's how me and Sean do it. We're very tight.
Yeah.
A friendship. Yeah. Everything about us tight in there. Anything else you want to say to him? Anything you want to say about Correa before we end this?
Frankly, when I saw the deal broke down with the Giants, I have jokingly said to my brother Kyle, "Watch the Mets are going to sign him because they just missed out." And I woke up like 7 o'clock in the morning to like 30 notifications saying Mets get Correa. not happy about it. First off, I'm like Dan in the same boat. I don't want my team to buy a championship, and that is ridiculous spending that much money, in my opinion, for a guy who really has not shown he's worth anywhere near that kind of money. He's good, very good player, very very good player, all-star, but 312 million over 11 years, I believe is what it was.
Yeah.
No, it was 12 years. That's a long time for a guy who just failed a physical. And now we're getting the reports that the Mets aren't too comfortable with his physical and they're reworking the deal. I imagine if they do come to an agreement, it's going to be a 1 year with an opt-out type thing again, like what he had last year with Minnesota, which I could tolerate that. I prefer not to have him in general because he also creates a logjam in the infield. The Mets have one of the top prospects in baseball, third base prospect, Brett Beatty, and they would then stick him in left field. And I've seen that happen way too many times and not work out. So we'll see where it goes from here. Also, Michael Conforto signs with the Giants. So the Giants finally get a free agent.
We're over Haniger. They're building something.
Yeah, they're building maybe 72 wins, but maybe 75.
Maybe 75.
I mean, maybe push closer to 80.
Maybe.
If Logan Webb has a nice year.
I will say Carlos Correa, everyone hypes him up. I mean, I've been a classic Correa hater, but like 9th best shortstop in baseball this year. Yeah. There's 8 other shortstops that were better than him this year. Yeah. So you're saying everyone on this, like, you're going to give Tommy Edman 350?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't even give.
I'd give Swanson 350.
Lindor doesn't even make 350.
You're not going to give Bogarts 350. You gave him 280. You're not going to give Willie fucking Adames 350. I mean, granted, Seager got 350-ish, and so did, Lindor got close. Trey got offered it from San Diego.
It's the name brand.
But it's the name.
Naturally, he's clutching the playoffs, which I get. But you know what? He's the kind of personality that, if looking from the outside looking in, can rub people the wrong way. It really could. And Lindor and him are good friends. And last time Lindor had a player that was a good friend coming to the Mets was Javier Baez, and it was an absolute nightmare for both of those players.
Yeah.
So that's another aspect of things. Sometimes you don't necessarily want to be working with your best friend.
Yeah.
So I know we're different. I said something.
Did you hear that? Are we breaking up Paul?
No, absolutely not.
We're going solo. And Fangraphs is letting us know about something. We'll let you know about something. Outfielders and pitchers coming next week. Now, we're fading out. God bless. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.